Hello dear friends, just recently I introduced to you my introduction to philosophy and Western thought in general. The first person that I would like to introduce will be Socrates. You probably know him from the books of history, but how much do you know about him and how his thoughts could improve our everyday lives? If you are new to this channel, I'm introducing this series of videos about the great minds of our history and how we can use their thoughts and their ideas to improve our everyday life. So today we are talking about Socrates, and what is so important about the person who didn't even left a written word. Everything we know about this person we know from his student Plato and his close friend Xenophon. And before I will go in some details of the life of this great and very interesting persona and his ideas, I just would like to stretch one very important thing, that when you are looking at the figures of the history, you have to consider the background when those ideas occurred. The political situation of the time, the people's perception of life, of their religion, how they understood things and what was important to them in those days. We need to bear in mind that Socrates started his career in Athens, that just recently lost a long and very devastating war against Sparta. And this small detail is very important to understand why so many Socrates ideas are based on Spartan understanding of world. For example, how to raise the kids, how to educate them, how society should work, etc. And this is also a very good lesson for us. When we will approach some conflict or some problem, first of all, we have to look, maybe we can learn something from the others, not just to judge them from the first glimpse. This is exactly what Socrates did. He looked at the system of Spartans, and even though he was a huge patriot and he was loyal servant of Athens, he knew that something what Spartans did was better than Athens have themselves. So he took some parts, some good bits and pieces of their education, of their structure, and bring them back to his society and try to make it better. His unique mission was to question the most confident people of his time and to ask basic questions. Not to embarrass them, but to try to make them rethink their basic understanding of life, also to understand their ignorance, not to prove him wrong, but to find the truth. And this is the most important thing for him. And it's very important for us these days, as we are losing our ability to hear each other. These days we are mostly trying to prove our points and we are getting more ignorant than ever. We believe that we understand things better than others, and for example, we are forgetting that even our kids know some things better than we do. For example, technology, even small kids, they are much better and they are learning much quicker to use the new technology. So we shouldn't be ignorant, we should listen to each other, and instead of arguing, we should discuss and trying to find better ways for communicating than just proving our own point of view. Okay, so let me go through some of the most important ideas of Socrates. And the first question he was trying to find an answer to was, what is a human being and what is our purpose? Following by question, who am I? And what is my purpose in the society and in this universe? And the point was made clearly by Socrates. He said that unexamined life is not worth living. What did he mean by that? So, firstly, before trying to show yourself in the society, you have to create yourself. All our economy is about the product, selling and buying products. So let's look at us, at human beings, from the perspective like we are the product. So if you want to sell yourself, for example, if you want to find a job, you have to be good at it. You have to prove somebody, you have to prove to employer that he should buy you, he should hire you. So the same is for our everyday lives. Find yourself, create yourself, and then create the life surrounding you. And from the notion of unexamined life, which is not worth living, we are coming to the question that was raised by other philosophers. What's wrong with living your life by desires? We might say, you know, life is too short, let's just enjoy it, let's just go traveling the world, let's just have parties, do crazy things and enjoy it. Yes, you can do that, but let me explain the position of Socrates. Living only by passion is like a watching life on screen, where events are displayed, you are just looking a movie, but you are just an illusion that following those events without even actually understanding them. Experiences from within themselves, they are not bad, but the bad thing is when we are not trying to understand them, when we are not trying to examine them, to understand why are we doing it, when we're not trying to understand what causation does it have to the others who surround us. Maybe some of our actions are hurting others. But as I said, not even one written word of his reached us these days. So all of his ideas were written by his students and his friends. Those might be not those exactly ideas and thoughts that the great person was thinking himself, but mainly to the history, and most of the philosophers and most of the greatest thinkers of all time admired him because he was committed to live accordingly to his own philosophy. And obviously the famous trial of Socrates and his death. We all know that he was charged of corrupting the heads and minds of young Athenians. Well, it's strange because the Socrates himself said that they probably know much better ways to corrupt themselves than my talking and my philosophy. And as we know, Socrates was proven guilty by the false court, and he had a choice. He could fled the city or to drink a poison and die. And Socrates answered to his prosecutors: I devoted my entire life for cause of reason, and now, only because my own situation is compromised and I'm facing a rather severe punishment, I supposed to abandon all what I stood for and run like a thief in the night? What my life will be worth if I will do that? We might say that Socrates was stupid, but he wasn't. He sacrificed himself to the greater good. He sacrificed himself for the healing power of philosophy. Thanks to Socrates and to other great thinkers of history that sacrificed their own interest, their own wealth for the higher ideal of our society, they shaped us and how we understand our lives and things surrounding us. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more of these videos. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. It will help me a lot and it will help the growth of my channel. So see you very soon. Go and read Socrates, go and read other philosophers, enjoy your life, and let's make it better for all of us. Bye.